Well, they're flying off the shelf. All of these beloved stardusts, they're beloved. People can't get enough of it. Or maybe they can. Because no one wants to take 30% extra damage. And that's what you take when you wear this talisman that gives you max cast speed. And so I had a build at level 66 that I had gone out of my way to give max cast speed. And you got to go all the way out of the way. You are going out of the way, all the way out of the way. And at level 60, you know, people are playing with their friends when you invade them. And, you know, their friend might be level 200, 400, 600. And at level 60, for whatever reason, man, they hit like, you know, they're level 200. It's pretty crazy. And so to take 30 extra damage at a time like that, that's pretty bonkers, in my opinion. In the opinion of this humble player and commenter. So I thought, all right, let's go down. And so here we are at level 40. And between levels like 9 and 30, I feel like you really can tell that, like, the password scaled, whatever you want to call it, that thing, the downscaling thing. I don't know what you would call that, like the formula, I guess. Okay, so from levels like 9 or 1 even, but you know, like from like 0 to 30, it really feels like you can feel the difference in these password summoned phantoms. You know, like, you know, this guy's way higher than us, but he doesn't do damage like it. He might be using stuff that we can't use yet, but you know, his damage isn't absurd. So I'm at level 40, and at level 40, you know, it starts to kind of get away a little bit, but it just doesn't seem as bad as level 60 for whatever reason. Level 60 is just awful. But I thought, let's try Beloved Stardust at level 40 and see how it feels in that instance. And oh my god, it is night and day different in terms of, like, taking the extra damage. This build here is even wearing a Soar Seal, Radigan Soar Seal on this build. For the endurance and the vigor, you know, you get some strength and some dex, but that's just kind of whatever, honestly. And then we've got the Beloved Stardust on. And man, it's night and day. I am led to believe that the Beloved Stardust is just the meanest Twink tool of all time. Maybe not of all time. Okay, that's hyperbole. I've taken it too far. It's just a really mean Twink tool. A Twink is when you, like, go in the game and you get stuff at, like, a low level that you know, most people aren't going to have. And then you're using all this stuff at, like, a really low level. And, you know, that's what twinking is. And, yeah, that's what it feels like this thing is, the Beloved Stardust. I don't think you have to feel too bad about using it, though, because, you know, look at my opponent. He's using the goddamn Sacred Relic Sword, okay? We're level 40, and this guy's acting like he's already beat the game. Using that Sacred Relic Sword. This is what I'm talking about when I say, you know, they're using stuff that you shouldn't have yet, or stuff you shouldn't be able to use yet. My opponent, you know, this is just to sort of, like, but, like, I don't believe that you have the host. I don't believe that they've done Ronnie's quest at level 40. I don't believe you. I don't believe you've been into the DLC and beat Messimer. You know, is it possible? Yeah. Is it likely? No. Obviously not. But, you know, that's okay, and that's what I'm saying. So, like, everybody's playing with that type of stuff, so me having max cast speed at this level, you know, there's worse things you could be doing, in all honesty. This doesn't even feel particularly brutal. But this thing is just... It's just a Twink tool. Because the extra damage that you take is so much... it's like it's so much better, or whatever. Like, it's not noticeable. 30% extra damage, taking 30% extra damage. So, like, you saw that guy, that jump attack took a chunk of my health. But we saw a guy in the last video, at level 60, who was hitting me with the Moonlight Sword, who was doing, like, 40% of my health in a single hit. So, yeah, I'll take that on a two-handed jump attack, which is mostly sacred damage. Like, that's fine, you know? The fact that I've got the Soar Seal on top of it, and this is how much, like, quote-unquote extra damage I'm taking, compared to what level 60 was doing, is, that's crazy. I will say another difference that you're going to see in this, that the level 60 invasions, I totally forgot about Miriam's vanishing. I totally forgot about it until, like, the end of that video. The invasions at the end of that video. And so in these invasions, I made sure to continue to use it. Right? It's so good. I know it's been nerfed and everybody's mad about it. Or not mad, but... Elden Ring and Souls people, they do this thing. Maybe other people do it. I don't know. But this is what I play, so this is what I notice. They do this thing where, like, if something gets nerfed, they'll just never use it again. And so what ends up happening is, like, back in Dark Souls 3, for example, there was a weapon called the Karthus Curve Sword. And it was like the best weapon in the game. Widely agreed upon to be the best PvP weapon for the best build, a hollow quality build, and it was really good. And then they nerfed it ever so slightly, and everyone at the same time stopped using it, and you never saw it again unless Saint Riot was making a video like, why did everyone stop using this? Like, it's bad now. It is not. But, you know, that's just what people do, I guess. They see something gets nerfed, and then, like, their immediate reaction is like, I need to never use this again. I need to forget that it ever existed. The Karthus Curve Sword even had, like, a flask punish, an Estus punish, that was, like, heavy attack into a full weapon art was a true combo on a flask punish. And, like, that was brutal, insano damage with, like, probably a bleed out on top. And, you know, no one knew that or did anything with it. Flashback or forward to Miriam's vanishing, and it's the same thing. This thing got its iframes nerfed, and no one uses it. But, like, people can't lock on to you. When you use it, they lose their lock on. Do you have any idea how strong something like that is against the average player? Like, the average player immediately falls apart. They just start, like, they'll have their shield up and they're locked on and they're looking at you, and then you use Miriam's vanishing and you move towards them and it unlocks them, but they're still holding block and they're still walking backwards, quote unquote. So now they're walking forwards with their back turned to you. That's absurd. That is an absurd thing to have. I love it. And, you know, Miriam's vanishing, it does this thing where it combo casts, where if you cast a spell out of it, you know, it comes out as soon as you appear. And so, you know, carrying Greatsword, and we've got max cast speed, so what does that mean? It means that carrying Greatsword is going to true combo into Carrion Piercer. Off of the surprise, you thought you were locked onto me, but you're not anymore. Like, the people who don't know how to fight locked on or unlocked, the people who don't know how to do that, like, they just die. But its iframes are less. Whatever. You know, just... Actually, you know what? I take it all back. It's terrible. Please continue to not use it. And it'll just be my thing. I'm the only one who makes it good, actually. Everybody else would suck with this. So it's better that no one else uses it. I'm just that good at the game. That's what it is. Anyway, I love Miriam's Vanishing. It's nice to have the max cast speed carrying Greatsword out of the teleport. That's sick. And then, you know, to have the Piercer combo. Or if you want to be, you know, if you want to, like, switch it up, you've got the Gavel of Haima, which is going to give you Hyper Armor. And probably knock your opponent down onto the ground, which is, like, that's a whole other thing. The fact that Gavel knocks people on their ass, you know, okay, well, now you're down. You have to roll to get up, and then you got to get up, you know. That's a beautiful surprise, especially if you always come out doing the other thing. So, like, you always come out doing carrying Greatsword. Well, now you come out and you're doing Gavel of Haima. It rules. Yeah. But I'll stop gushing about it, and you can just watch the clips. You can just see how, you know, even though my health bar is smaller in these videos, in these invasions, it feels fine to be level 40, and to fight over-leveled phantoms and Runar toasts and, you know, whatever else. It's totally manageable. And now this, why not try it at level 9? I have a level 9 build. I could totally get to the DLC on my level 9 build and go grab this Talisman and wear it with Marika's Soar Seal and Radigan's Soar Seal, and then maybe like the Intelligence Talisman, the Star Seeker Heirloom. And that's 3 talismans that are going to make me take more damage, but because it's level 9, it's just not going to matter at all. Like, you could probably swap one of those talismans to the Two Fingers Talisman and pop off Bestial Vitality and out-heal everything damage-wise that is going to happen to you. And yeah, this thing is just... I would imagine that further testing is going to reveal that at lower levels, this thing is just much better, right? Which is crazy. That's crazy. You would think that, you know, it comes with this big penalty. The 30% extra penalty, like, it comes with that. You would think that that would mean, you know, yeah, we're trying to dissuade lower level characters from wearing it. But, you know, look at it this way. If your opponent hits you for, you know, 100 damage, that's like, you're going to take an extra 30 damage, right? 130 damage now. If your opponent hits you for 300 damage, you're going to take 390, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it just makes sense, I guess, that, you know, this is... But again, it's crazy to me that you would make something like this just for the purposes of people that want to make Twink casters, but I can see no other purpose for its existence. I don't know if you paid any attention to that, but that guy was blasting me with the Madness I-Beam, and so I was just teleporting so that he would lose his lock-on, and he would just shoot the Madness Beam into the dirt. And when he got bored of doing that, he approached me and then died immediately. I don't know if you managed to... I don't know if you caught on to the visuals of what was happening because I was yapping. But, yeah, that's what happened. And, again, that's brought to you by Miriam's Vanishing. I also have just a really fantastic Miriam's Vanishing clip in this invasion as well. One of the coolest things that can happen, which is when you are doing PvP on a bridge and you knock your opponent off of the bridge. You know, Souls fans have loved this since the time began. For as long as they would let us knock each other off of bridges, Dark Souls fans have loved knocking each other off of bridges. If this probably, I would say it probably peaked in Dark Souls 2, but there's a case to be made for Dark Souls 3 knocking people off of bridges as well, in the catacombs of Karthus. Maybe some other places too, that I'm just not thinking of off the top of my head. But the point being that, you know, we love it. We love to knock people off of bridges. It's just like it should be an achievement in From Software games. Knocked an opponent off of a bridge in PvP and killed them. Also keep in mind, like, I'm wearing the fashion talisman here to show off my sick fashion. At level 40, like, we're not even trying to be like mean, and we still are. Look at this. Goodbye. What an incredible achievement. That's an achievement right there. Nothing can top that, you know, that feeling. Now, unfortunately for us, you know, in an invasion like this, you want to get the hat trick. You want to beat all three players in the most stylish way possible. Especially if the first kill that you got was, you know, carrying Piercer off of a bridge. You know, you really want the finale to bring it home. But unfortunately for us, this host jumps off of the level thinking probably that they could, like, juke the invader, you know? Like, oh, I'll confuse him, and then they just killed themselves on accident. It happens. Does it ruin the clip? No, but obviously we all would have wished for a more stylish ending, and instead we get the comedic ending, and that's fine. Sometimes you get the comedy ending. I can live with that. I can live with that. This is, you know, look at the thing. The dragon halberd. That thing is, to Elden Ring, what the Dragon Slayer axe was to Dark Souls 3 Twinks. Where it's basically like, you just see it all the damn time. People love it because it does a lot of damage. It's got hyper armor on the Ash of War, and it's gonna proc Frostbite. And between all of those things, the person you hit with it is either dead or about dead. It's you know, easy mode PvP, that Dragon Halberd. I'll be honest though, it's also pretty good in PvE as well. So it's not like, you know, when you see it, it's always, you know, some PvP twink. In the case of a person who uses it and then hard swaps to, or I guess soft swaps to Wind Whoosher, whatever that thing's called. In the case of something like that, you know, okay, I know what you are. But it's great. People try to do the Wind Whoosher and you just Miriam's vanishing away from it. And, you know, then what? Then they die in a single carrying greatsword cast. It's good stuff. Love it. But yeah, that Dragon Halberd is like, just, it's almost in every invasion, you know? At low level. It's one of those things. I always keep bleed boluses, the red boluses, in my menu on hold triangle tap right. And if you watch in the bottom left of your screen there, you'll see what I'm talking about. When I need to drink a flask, it's hold triangle tap up. If I want a blue flask, it's hold triangle tap down. If I need a bleed bolus, it's hold triangle, tap right. I never... You could, like, okay, is my opponent using, like, frostbite? Okay, I'll put the frostbite boluses there instead of the bleed boluses. Like, at low level, that's almost worth doing. Because everybody is using the Dragon Halberd. The Ice Rind Hatchet, I think it's called. That thing's making a... I saw a lot of that in these low-level invasions. Saw a ton of that. I haven't fought these axes in a minute, and I was totally blanking on how you're supposed to fight them. It's wait for the teleport, wait for the reappearance, and then roll forward. I kept like rolling forward, and I was rolling in too early. I knew it was roll forward, but I didn't know when to roll forward. But yeah, this is a great example of a level 30. You know, this dude would absolutely melt me at level 60. Like, that would do like 80% of my life if we were level 60 right now. But because this guy actually has like some downscaling taking place, he's tough as hell, right? He's got a ton of HP and defenses. Maybe not a ton of HP, but he does have a ton of defenses. But and that does do good damage, but it's not, like at level 60, that would melt me. I would just be dead. And that's the difference between level 60 and level 40. And then to go down to like I said earlier, you know, anywhere level 1 to level 30. Like, it's insane to see downscaling actually working. A part of me thinks like maybe it's to protect the lower level invaders, not the dedicated invaders, but the people who are trying out invasions. It's like they want it to be fair for them, I guess. Look at this. Oh, what are you locked onto? I don't know. But that would be odd, because that's where the worst people hang out. You know? Like, you don't need to protect those super low-level twinks, right? It seems like you would protect people that are getting to Liurnia and doing the quests, and getting to Mount Gelmir and getting the finger and doing the quests. It seems like you would protect that level of player instead of the super low-level player. But I don't, you know, what do I know? I'm just some guy. Some of the invasions I was wearing the Graven Mass icon, as well as using the Meteorite staff. I don't know if you watch one of those invasions and my character is red. I was doing the tryhard setup, and I was doing that just specifically to see like how mean this build could be, like if I was min-max and everything. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll try it at 9, or yeah, level 9. We'll try it. Why not? Till then, later, y'all.